From above, the pastures of Extremadura form a vast ocean, a large green spill splashed with farmhouses and beautiful white towns. At ground level, they become a forest overflowing with life, a paradise of Iberian flora and fauna, an ecosystem in which the blissful harmony between man and nature becomes reality. The character of both home and cork oaks make them the daily defenders of life in this area, where time seems to stand still and where every autumn, when the sky turns grey, these species labour miraculously to produce fruit, justifying the reason why the home oak is traditionally referred to as a sacred tree. The pastures provide a unique example of sustained development, the balance between obtaining natural products and preserving the countryside. This never-ending woodland is in fact a forest cultivated and inhabited by man, and hence an authentic industrial unit in the most natural of settings. Thanks to these economic and social benefits, the pastures have been protected and conserved for centuries, ever since they came into being, and over the years their survival also includes that of millions of living creatures associated with this natural enclave. The diversity of animals living on the meadows is breathtaking, and it is difficult to find another place such as this anywhere in the world, one that is so peaceful and yet so savage, both bustling and silent and completely natural. But the most exceptional wildlife to be found on the pastures is without doubt those animals native to the land, nurtured under conditions of total liberty by those living on the meadows. Indigenous cattle such as retinta cows and merino sheep share their habitat with a particular species that has become the icon of select and high-quality food, the Iberian pig. If the pastures constitute one of the remaining natural wonders of the world, the Iberian pig forms part of its roots and possesses a unique genetic makeup that is not found anywhere else. It is freely bred in the area, like no other, and enjoys a peaceful, harmonious life alongside some of the most endangered species of the world. Environment, history, and tradition have all helped to make Extremadura a culinary reference point for its major production of Iberian pig across Spain, and for the famous high quality of its ham obtained from these animals whose diet consists chiefly of acorns. The need to preserve the quality and prestige of this product, manufactured in limited quantities, entails the creation of a quality brand that is associated with Spain's major ham production area and that guarantees the purchase of a unique product. With this aim in mind, the Protected Designation of Origin, Dehesa de Extremadura, was created in 1990. The Protected Designation of Origin, Dehesa de Extremadura, controls the manufacturing of ham from its raw material state until it reaches the market. The Consejo Regulador, a board that protects, monitors and promotes the quality of the product, guarantees that the ham and beef cuts are exclusively produced, stored and dried in Extremadura, originating from Iberian pigs reared on local pastures. These checks ensure that manufacturing, genetics, breeding and diet are all placed under strict control, as well as the tracing and individual inspection of every single beef and ham cut which could occur at any moment. The Consejo Regulador only approves Iberian pigs with a minimum of 75% Iberian blood, thus considered pure. The work of specialists begins after checking the genetic quality, weight and the total number of animals for breeding, before then going on to mark the pigs for identification purposes using a numbered metal tag. Every year, after the first rainfall, the pastures become a carpet of green over which millions of acorns form a dark blanket, announcing the arrival of autumn and of the period known as Montonera. During the Montonera, which lasts from October to March, the strict control of the animals is continued by a team of specialists from the Consejo Regulador who pay as many visits as they deem necessary to the various farms, supervising the pig's diet of acorns and natural fodder and the weight control of each individual pig. The next phase begins in the abattoir, where after checking the metal tags one by one, a permanent plastic seal is attached to each ham and beef cut, displaying its quality, its origin, and the logo of the Consejo Regulador, together with a unique, unrepeatable number for each cut. Only those carcasses whose weight will guarantee the manufacturing of a high-quality product are tagged, and those that do not meet the necessary requirements do not continue the process. From this moment onwards, the specialists of the Consejo Regulador are able to control the production and curing of the ham and beef cuts of Protected Designation of Origin, Dehesa de Extremadura, thanks to the individual identification of each cut. All information about the cuts is made available throughout the entire process, such as where the manufacturing process began and the date of slaughter. This fully assures that the certification of the product can be traced, a necessary step in order to give peace of mind to the consumer and the producers themselves. The manufacturing of this product, unique throughout the world, has in no way been modified since it began. Once a carcass has been cut up, it is placed in a huge refrigerator with the ham and beef cuts ready to be shaped into the rustic V letter that sets them apart, which takes place the next day. After this process, salt needs to be added to the cuts. The hands of artisans put generations of wisdom into practice, adding salt to every ham and beef cut before they are placed in cold storage rooms where they remain for a specified amount of time depending on their weight. Once out of the storage room, the cuts are washed in order to get rid of excess salt, and then later they are moved to other storage rooms where the salt is evenly spread out on the inside of the flesh and moisture is gradually lost until their thickness is suitable for further treatment and curing. When spring arrives, the Sierras of Extremadura are teeming with natural life. On its slopes, the drying sheds of Protected Designation of Origin, Dehesa de Extremadura, protect the ham and beef cuts that gradually soak up the aromas of the natural environment. The cuts remain in the drying sheds for between 6 and 9 months. Once summer comes to an end, they are then taken to the quiet storerooms where they remain in semi-darkness until they reach full maturity. During this long phase of inactivity, they finally acquire the characteristics that transform them into the tastiest delicacy to originate from the pastures. But the work of specialists of the Protected Designation of Origin, Dehesa de Extremadura, does not end there. After a time of curing that lasts between 18 and 36 months, the cuts from every region are individually checked and those considered unsuitable are discarded. The ham and beef cuts deserving of quality distinction are branded with a numbered label of the Protected Designation of Origin, Dehesa de Extremadura, which is proof of the strictly controlled procedure from the countryside to the market. A product of such high quality like the Iberian ham, produced by the Protected Designation of Origin, Dehesa de Extremadura, must be correctly presented at the time of sampling, and so for this reason is sliced by hand. If all of the ham is for immediate consumption, the outside is cleaned thoroughly. For ham that will be consumed over a longer period of time, only the area that is being cut is cleaned. Slices of ham are cut with a special ham knife, carving very fine slices between 4 and 7 centimeters long and the same width as the ham. They are served at room temperature, and each slice endeavors to include the entire surface area of the cut. The deciding moment of quality control is the tasting of the product. The final evaluation is the result of a long process to which each expert has contributed his or her knowledge in order to manufacture a product that is unique throughout the world. Mediterranean food is not complete without such a unique product, which evokes an array of aromas and tastes for the palate, with a gentle sweetness so characteristic of the ham produced by Dehesa de Extremadura. Iberian acorn ham has enjoyed high culinary status for centuries. Dehesa de Extremadura assures that this ancient tradition continues through exhaustive control of genetics, quality, and of the consistency of the product before it enters a competitive market. Every time that expert hands cut Iberian ham from Extremadura's Dehesa de Extremadura, this completes a cycle that is the fruit of craftsmanship, tradition, the natural environment, and acquired skill. Every year, in the shade of the home oaks that populate the fields of Extremadura, the history of a select and unrivaled fruit product is forged on a blanket of acorns, the fruit of a relationship with the environment and wildlife around us that is built on respect. Dehesa de Extremadura is synonymous of guarantee, taking the best of nature and placing it at the service of refined taste, creating an exclusive and luxurious purchase for buyers. Dehesa de Extremadura signifies an infinite torrent of sensations brought from a paradise that is carefully looked after for generations to come.